And it's community pride. Are you going to move on? Yeah, so now they're relatively genetic.
Well, I know what to do. Mike Johnson, I feel like it's only appropriate if you lead us.
What if it's
And she would Thank you. We'll find in front of you, there are some new changes to our bylaws that we just need to ratify. So if there is no discussion, we can just get the votes to move those forward. Yeah.
Just to remind everyone, this did go out in an email a couple of times, a few months ago, and the board approved them. So this is just a perfunctory, vote, I guess.
Sure.
I move that we get some bylaws.
Okay. All in favor? Thanks. Okay, introduction of guest directors. Looks like about a million faces. Yeah. So announcements today. You have announcements first.
Okay. Hopefully, we're trying to do a hybrid model, so that's what this camera is right here. It's called the Owl. It was a sponsorship by Central Credit Union, so I just want to acknowledge them and thank them for that. This way, people that want to stay at home can watch, and then we can still upload everything to YouTube. So first of all, thanks to everybody who showed up to the State of the City breakfast last week, and to all of our speakers, several of whom are here. Thank you so much. It was a great turnout and a really good time. I know Marilyn Strell is here, so she's probably going to talk about the Charm Walk. No? Okay, well, better. Oh, and Mother and the First Friday. Okay, so I'm going to skip over that part of mine. Are there any new Rotarians here that want to pitch their taste around the world? Yvette? Okay, yeah.
Yes, we have Taste Around the World coming up this Saturday, the 7th, from 5 to 7. It's drop-in, go at your own pace, so you don't have to stop a 2-hour commitment. You just want to come in and try some Spanish food, some Argentinian food, some Japanese food, and you just come in and try that. There's going to be 12 different countries involved as facilitated food and libations. It's $50 per person or $90 per couple. The tickets are available at Greens. I don't have any on me right now. Thankfully, I sold mine. So I can get more if anyone is interested. So, yeah. Like we also are available at Greens.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And proceeds will go to support a new Husky Field entrance. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's our local project. We've been working on it for a couple of years, trying to replace the Husky Field so that it's safer, prettier, sparkly,
Love it. That's great. Awesome. Thank you. Our tea for dinner is coming up on May 18th. That'll be in Lolita at our new member business, North Coast Kitchen Post. It's a beautiful restored barn. We do have limited seating, so don't wait too long to RSVP. We're already at 127 out of 200. So just don't delay too long. And then next week, our guests are going to be students from Cal Poly discussing their documentary Homeless in Humboldt.
Marilyn, I think you have a few things you want to share.
Yeah, do you mind if I sit down?
Of course not.
Okay, so right now we have a new event going on in downtown.
It's called the Mother's Day Charm Walk. We have 17 different businesses participating, so we go into, or student fabrics, it's brain big, and pick, buy your charm bracelet, and then you go to all 17 businesses and get a free charm. So it's going over really well. People are really enjoying it. And this Friday, we have the return of First Friday with many businesses in downtown having artists in their business. And it'll be going on until 9 p.m. this Friday, so from 6 to 9 p.m. So that should be a lot of fun. Oh, thank you. I was supposed to say that. Thank you. Mine's still. We're honoring the fire department, and it is a fundraiser today. So I know that Ariel Jewelers is selling a limited amount of tickets for the Eagle necklace, and all proceeds for that go to the fire department. So that's really cool. Then on June 4th, we have the citywide yard sale downtown. So anybody that is not a merchant in downtown can rent a space for $25. I think that's before May 27th. And get a space in downtown to sell their garage sale stuff. If you are a downtown merchant, please call for something old, something new out, because he's running this project instead of me, and he's going to be getting it all together. So that's really cool. And the last but not least, Ottawa Expo is going great. We have 263 people that are already registered as of today. We have 170 cars already registered to be on Main Street, so it's going to be a great event in the 4 weeks. Any questions on anything?
All right, Merritt.
Next, we do have a city council meeting tonight, and it'll start with a special study session at 4:30 to talk about the required organic waste recycling and recovery ordinance. So it'll be the first time that we take a look at that. If you're big into proclamations and recognitions, this is a great meeting to be in. We have some public environment here, National Police Week, Municipal Clerks Week, National Flag Month, Watch the Road proclamation, and the Kiwanis proclamation for their 8th anniversary. So you don't want to miss that. You're really wanting to see absolute proclamation in your life. A few items on the consent calendar, I'll just mention a couple of them. One will be approving the MOU with the girls fast pitch softball and awarding a contract for the 12th Street Stormwater Enhancement Project with the LED features along 12th Street. And the business items include the second reading of the use of military weapons policy, and then the first reading of a zoning map amendment. And that's it.
Thanks. Any other announcements? What time is going on? Bob?
Right, it's not early yet, but the CDC has gotten back to us, and chili does in fact kill the COVID virus. So we're looking for chili good off. Ready to go. So start looking at your recipes, testing kidney beans versus black beans versus whatever beans.
Versus no bean?
Yeah, versus no beans in a while, right? Gin. So, watch for the news. We'll have signups coming out, probably in June. We started the permitting process now, though. There definitely want to be out in front of it to see what kind of study we do for class.
Is there, any thought maybe doing the traditional and also something like what you did last year for businesses? That would be
Taste.
Yeah, I dug that.
I mean, everyone I love it. That was fun.
You did.
That made it bigger, right? Well, it was a great twist. They got people out into our restaurants, which were already struggling. So I take it. Yeah. When they get with the chamber, and we'll see what that looks like. So looking forward to hanging out with you guys and doing some fun.
It doesn't have to tell me about some of the reading.
Marilyn and I are sharing a parade today. So June 10th, Pursuit Sunrise Rotary is doing a fundraiser. It's gonna be very fun. It's going to be, it's gonna be fun for Ferndale. So, yeah.
From Rich.
I'm sure that's what I said. It'll be very fun. Live auction, dinner, sort of bluegrass theme. See everybody there. Yeah.
Thanks, Bob. Any other announcements? Oh, go ahead, Ray.
As Mary mentioned, the Forgiveness Lions Club will be celebrating their 80th year of serving Hebrew of River Valley. We're receiving a proclamation this evening along with many other people. And then we're going to have a celebration over at the Lolita Pavilion this coming Saturday from 12 to 2. And unfortunately, the RSVPs are all in, so we have a full house at the time. That's not unfortunate, but it's, we're all okay. Should be a good turnout. We're looking to have a great time with the clubs from all over Humboldt County. They'll be coming to join us in the celebration. Lions clubs.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay, well, with that, I'll have Amber Madrone, the Development Director of CASA, Humboldt.
All right, well, thank you for having me. We're just talking about this is my first time back in person at a chamber event in several years, so it's exciting to be in person with live people. And Stephanie, thank you for inviting me to be here today. I really appreciate it. I have been with CASA since September, so relatively new at CASA, but my own personal connection with CASA goes back almost 20 years. 18 years ago, I was a brand new foster parent with 3 kids under the age of 4, and the reality of foster care gave me like a ton of bricks. In those first few months of sleepless nights with 3 crying babies, I realized the trauma and the devastation that comes with foster care when a child is removed from the only family they ever have known and placed to live with strangers. This is a reality that's hard for most of us to imagine. That if you are a parent or a grandparent or an aunt or uncle, you have someone in your life that you love, imagine that child being taken from you and not knowing where they're going and being placed to live with a stranger and not knowing when they're ever going to see you or talk to you again. The trauma that these children experience is so real, it's so unimaginable, and once you know it, you can't unknow it, and you can't not want to do something to help. So my own personal connection goes back that far. And when this position became available, I just felt like it was full circle and I wasn't even ready to come back to work. I actually just had twins. And I was planning on staying home until this coming June. But this position became available and it felt so full circle for me to be able to come back and help provide classes for other children. So those first few months of being a foster parent were really a blur. It was overwhelming, it was chaotic, it was full of the unknown, and most of it I don't even remember, honestly. But the one thing I will never forget is the day we were sitting in a visitation room and Catherine walked in. Catherine was a court-appointed special advocate that was assigned to one of my children. She walked in with a calm, loving presence that I will never forget, and it was exactly what everybody in that room needed. Very quickly, she took on the other 2 kids that were in my home, and she was the CASA for all 3 children in my house. The court cases for these 3 boys lasted for 5 years, and during that time, we lost track of the number of attorneys, social workers, caseworkers, service providers that came in and out of our lives. For those 5 years, there was only one person that remained consistent from the start of their case until their end of their case, and that was Catherine, the court-appointed special advocate. She was a volunteer, and she stayed consistent for 5 years. She was there, she got to know them, she reached out and met their extended family and facilitated visits to keep that connection with their extended family. She got to know the trauma that they had experienced and researched what services were available for them. She advocated strong for their mental, physical, and educational needs. And she showed up to every single court hearing and advocated for their best interests. She was the only person in that courtroom that had actually met them. And that is what a court-appointed special advocate is. So at CASA, our goal is to match every child in foster care with an advocate volunteer. The volunteers, I'm biased, but they are a breed of their own. They are such a special kind of volunteer. They're community members just like you and me. They have no special background, but they come to CASA with a dedication to help children in foster care. They go through a specialized training, and then they're sworn in by the court to be an officer of the court. Once they're sworn in, they're matched with a child, and they make a commitment to stay with that child for the entire length of the court case. And oftentimes, they're the only person that stays with that child. The advocates become mentors, they become consistent caring adults in this child's life, and they advocate for what's best for children in foster care. Like I said, oftentimes they're the only person in the courtroom that's actually met the child and the people that are in their lives to help make a decision that will impact this child for the rest of their lives. So currently, this year we've matched 60 children with advocates. But as you can imagine, there are hundreds more children right here in Humboldt County that are waiting for advocates. We have ongoing trainings that go throughout the year, and advocates do, as Stephanie actually, very well aware of our trainings. I see a couple faces out here that I know are CASA supporters, which is touching to me. But we're always looking for advocates, and so if anybody is interested in getting more information, you can contact me. We're also always fundraising because for every advocate that we bring on, we have a supervisor that supports them. The court cases, you know, it's complex, it's a legal system. People come without extensive knowledge about it. And so we have supervisors that support our advocates every step of the way. They are there to help problem solve, they're there to help support, they're there to help write court reports, to help access services. And so for every advocate that we bring on, we also need a supervisor to help support them. And I heard somewhere out there that you were looking for more proclamations. That you were well, this is foster care month too, so starting today. And we were not able to hold our annual fundraiser back in March due to the uncertainty of COVID. And so Federal Capital Bank and Pro Central Credit Union actually teamed up and come together to create a community challenge where they have committed to matching donations dollar for dollar, starting today, starting this month, where every dollar that is donated, Pro Central Credit Union and Federal Capital will match that to double donations so that we can continue to meet the needs of the kids in our community. And you know, with COVID and everything that's happened, the needs haven't gone down, it's gone up exponentially. And so we really appreciate both Pro Central and Federal Capital stepping in to help. And there's lots of ways to get involved if anybody's interested. You can come see me. And anybody has questions?
What's the average cost these days to support a child?
So it's $1,000. We'll get an advocate brought on and support a child the year. Yeah, which, you know, it's like $75 a month. So if somebody wants to become a sustaining member, $75 a month, and you have created that match for one child.
What's an average time?
So that we ask for at least a 2-year commitment so that you stay with the child throughout their court case, which could be 12 months, 2 years. In my case, it was 5 years. And then we ask for a couple of hours. We meet with the child at least once a month, but typically advocates meet with their child every week. And then there's some time spent getting to know, you know, their extended family, who they live with, the services they're involved in, and then writing a court report.
It's a whole lots to raise to keep that at its current level.
So this campaign that we're doing right now is for $50,000 to get us through what would have been the remainder of the funds from Big Night that we were able to hold.
So is that 50 from the community and then 50 more from each of the?
So it's 20, so we're halfway there, thank you. So we need to match that with another $25,000.
We're planning to have a lot.
Yeah. So that will kick off in August, and it runs through October, yeah.
What is that?
That is our Super Kids season, so for that, people form teams and they're fundraising teams, and then we'll have all kinds of different kind of friendly competition and ways for teams to rally and raise funds. And then it culminates in an event to celebrate the Super Kids season.
How's the board looking? You need more board members?
We do always need more work. Come back and on, always need more board members. Can you perhaps speak from experience on that?
I'm sure you're in the plug out there. It's a great organization, work for, be part of. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's really an exciting time for CASA right now. We're making a lot of changes. We're really working for growth so that we can reach more kids. And we have a lot of new board members, but we do have room for some more new board members. And there's a lot of energy towards growth and really reaching our kids. So it is a great board to be a part of.
Being on the board, awesome. You have to have a file.
No. So there are two separate, so yes, if you are on the board, you cannot be a CASA due to the conflict. So there are two different ways to volunteer and get involved.
But it is worth going through the training.
Yes. Yeah, the training is a great baseline of just really understanding, Stephanie.
I just said it is great.
Really getting a baseline of where these kids are from, coming from, what they're experiencing. And just kind of the overall of what the process is.
Are we in a region here for CASA? Like, my sister is very involved over in Chico. And so it's like Northern California that way here, or?
We are Humboldt, CASA Humboldt. We are an independent nonprofit, and there's California CASA, which is an association that we're part of. So there's there's 90-something CASAs throughout California, but they're all independent nonprofits, and yet we have the resources and support of California CASA. There's also a national CASA. We're the only one in Humboldt County, and we serve all kids in Humboldt County. And that is my exiting. My contact information and stuff on the community channel, which see. We do have sponsorship, and we also have cans if people have businesses collect donations. We actually get thousands of dollars through those cans if people have their businesses. So I have those if anybody's interested.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you, Amber. I think that's it, unless anyone else has any other questions or comments? No? Okay, bye.
Great.
Yeah.